Who are you now as opposed to whenever? Hey guys, Jim Edwards here, and welcome to another edition of Letting the Chihuahuas Out with Jim, because I got to take them before I can go let the chickens out. But let's talk for a minute about who are you now as opposed to, say, 20 or 30 years ago, or who are you now as opposed to even a year ago. See, your image of yourself has a huge impact on the results that you get and what you're willing to try, what you're willing to achieve, or what you're willing to even consider as possible for you. And it's funny, I didn't even really start thinking about this until earlier this week. Good morning. And I have an appointment tomorrow with somebody I haven't seen in like 25 years. And it's a financial advisor, a guy actually used to work with him and his brother 30 years ago. And they knew me when I was still trying to, hey Gordon, good morning. It's early out there in Vegas, man. Getting after it, I bet you're at the gym. So the thing is, these guys knew me when I was in my 20s and I was trying to figure out what I was supposed to do in the world. And they saw me screwing up and they saw me doing well. They saw me not being able to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. And so their perception of me is different than my perception of me now. And I'm going to have lunch with them tomorrow and talk about making an investment and stuff. But the thing is, their perception of me is different than who I am now, only because that perception has never been updated. So once they see what I'm doing now and all that good stuff, they'll be like, oh, okay, it makes sense that Jim should be doing this. But this is the part that got me thinking. What if you don't update who you see yourself as? What if you are defining yourself by stuff from 15, 20 years ago? That's limiting you. That's holding you back. What if you're holding yourself back with ideas of who you were even 6 months ago? And good morning, Amanda. Are you holding yourself back? Are you keeping yourself from trying things or believing that something's possible for you because though you have changed, you haven't recognized that change within yourself, and so subconsciously it's holding you back? It's just something to think about. You know, who are you now as opposed to who you were 6 months ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago? And in my opinion, who you are is going to change, and it's going to change maybe subtly to the point that you don't realize it as it's happening, and you only realize it once you look back and go, wow, I'm a completely different person. Or wow, I'm the same person, but I'm able to do this, 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 and this, and I need to appreciate that. And I'll be a little vulnerable with you. You know, over the last 3 years, I've had to make a shift inside of myself to say, you know what, I really can be the guy who teaches people about sales copy, who teaches people about sales. It was something I had never really thought about of myself as being the thing to teach people, to write books about, to become known for. But then when I look back and looked at all the things that I'd done, the experiences, the education, the accomplishments, the proof, all those things, it made perfect sense. And so that's how I've been able to make that transition, but it wasn't instant. So anyway, it's just something, this is really, it's been in the back of my head a whole lot over the last few days. It's almost like, you know, I want to prove to these guys that knew me 30 years ago that I'm somebody now. It's not, and not in a bad way, but it's like, I got to update them on who I am, because that's not who I am anymore. And then it made me think about defining who I am for myself. And that's just something that if you don't update who you are to you, then you're going to hold yourself back. So anyway, just some thoughts. I have no idea. I mean, this is one of those things where I just get out and the dogs are taking a crap in the yard, and hey, you think some deep thoughts while you watch your puppies poop. What else is life about? So if this makes any sense or resonates with you at all, let me know down in the comments below. If you ever think it would be kind of fun to have a conversation like this with me over a cup of coffee or a beer or something like that. This is exactly the kind of stuff that we sit around and talk about when we're having breaks on the gym boat and stuff. And so if you're thinking that that would be kind of fun and you would want to do that November 7th, I would love for us to be able to hang out and have some deep naval contemplating conversations on the Gym Boat Mastermind, which you can check out at thegymboat.com. I know Amanda and Marty are going to be there. I hope Gordon's going to be there this year. That would be awesome. I know y'all had a new baby, but hey, that baby will be a year old almost when the gym boat comes around, Gordon, so you need to be there, man. So anyway, check it out at thegymboat.com and update who you are. Think about who you are. Be nice to yourself a little bit. That's the other thing. We tend to beat the shit out of ourselves, and that's not nice. So be nice. Okay, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.